Okay, good morning, Sergio. You have here your lesson plan, helpline for quarter 4. And I have already checked. It's good that you have presented the parts according to the general principle and format of our department. So, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's good to hear. Laban lang. Sergio, based on your plan, so that at least you will be aware with yourself and so with me as an observer, which part of your lesson plan would you like me to focus my observation?
Specifically, sir, in discussing new concepts regarding injuries. Indicator E.
Okay, that's good. So it's more on the discussion of the topic. Okay. So since you have chosen the part that I'm going to observe with your presentation discussion, when is your final verdict or observation time chosen?
Today, sir, this afternoon at exactly 2 to 3 p.m.
Okay. So I am also free with that time, so your request will be granted. See you by this afternoon 2 to 3 o'clock p.m. In what classroom, Sergio?
Section Aristotle, sir, grade
Okay, sige.
Thank you.
Good luck, Sergio.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, how was your afternoon?
It's great.
Very good to hear that. So, are you ready for the lesson for this afternoon?
Yes, sir.
Are you all excited to learn?
Yes, sir.
If that's so, please stand for the prayer. Miss Rosalie, please lead us the prayer. Proceed to Clinton.
Let us bow our head and fill the presence of our Father. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Okay, please take your seats. Arrange your chairs properly and pick up the pieces of paper under your chairs. Okay, as part of the safety measures given by the IETF, I want you all to wear your mask as we are doing our discussion for this afternoon. Are we all clear?
Yes, sir.
So are you all excited? Again?
Yes, sir.
Before we will go directly to our main lesson for this afternoon, I want you first to answer the set of questions I have prepared for you. Let's proceed to question number 1. Okay, Miss Rosalie, please read.
What time do you usually go to school in the morning?
Your answer?
I will arrive at school at around 7:30.
Very good. What about Miss Roseanne?
I arrive at school 7:40.
That's too early. Very good. What about Miss Lovely?
I go to school 7 o'clock in the morning.
Good thing. A round of applause for everybody. Let's proceed to the next question. Miss Jolie, please read and answer.
Why do you have to leave at your home at that early?
Yes, what's your reason?
For me not to be late.
Yes, that's a sign or an essence of being a good student. You should attend class early or before the scheduled time, right?
Yes, sir.
What about Miss Pamela?
So I can still have time to help my groupmates to clean the area that we are at.
Okay, very good. And also doing your homework na hindi pa natapos. Let's proceed. What about Miss Burrell? Please read and answer.
Okay, how about the others? What are your means of transportation and going to school? So as for me, sir, since my house is just near the school, so I just walk.
Okay. What about our commuter, Miss Julie? What
I
is your-
usually ride a motorcycle. My father will bring me to school.
Okay, very good. So what about Miss Ivy?
I use my own motorbike in going to school.
Very good. So we have all our different modes of transportation in going to school. Let's proceed to the next question. Miss Lovely, please read and answer.
Where do you ride in going to school? As for me, I ride in going to school from my house to the school.
Okay, obviously. No, from our different or our houses, before we will go to school. Others may drop first to the terminal before we will go to school.
It's safer to ride motorbikes
Why?
because it's easy and lighter to drive.
Yes, very good. It's easy to drive a motorbike because it is manageable. It depends on the speed that you are going to set on, no? What about the others?
And the safer is the bus
Why?
or the jeep because it has 4 wheels.
Yes, very good. So whatever your answers are, you cannot assure of safetyness on the modes of transportation that you have chosen. Because our safety lies to the driver. Yes, if the driver is reckless, expected that you may get what?
Injury.
Yes, you may happen to get injury because you meet an accident along the
Road.
or the way in going to school. So before we will proceed to the main lesson, I have here a different types of problems that you are going to analyze, no? Different situations. First, for a rider, injury may be what?
A bone fracture, sir.
Very good, Ma'am Sally. You may get bone, Miss Sally, you may get bone fracture because of what? Because of what situation?
Because of because of collision.
Yes?
Yes, because of collision or because of the or others, the driver is not
Careful enough.
it's not careful enough to drive on this way.
Okay, very good. A hand for me, Miss Sally. Let's proceed to the second picture. What about Miss Gurel?
Okay, for fireman, injury may be burns, sir, because fireman is a very it's the line of work is very dangerous. So he will encounter mga sunog. So there will be cases na magka-injury siya through burns.
Okay, so do you believe that it's the burns alone that a fireman can get?
Also falling objects, sir.
Yes, very good. He may also get what? Bone fracture in the falling debris. No? In the building that they are trying to stop the fire. Now let's proceed to the next picture. Yes, Miss Shubi?
For a construction worker, injury may be fractured.
Yes, fractured. Because you may get fractured because you are not what? Careful, yes. And everything that we should do or we will do every day, we should be mindful of our action for us to be able to prevent what?
Injury.
Okay, as part of our activity this morning, what do you think is our lesson for this afternoon?
It's all about injuries.
Yes, very good. Our lesson for this afternoon is all about injury with its classifications. What are the classification of injury, Miss Pamela?
It's the unintentional and intentional.
Okay, very good. So in every discussion, in every lesson, there should always be a guide path. A guide path or a guide objectives for us to be able to know whether we are learning or what. So here is Miss Ivy. Loud and clear.
At the end of the lesson, the student should be able to first define injury, second, differentiate the intentional injuries from unintentional injuries. Third, classify the given situation as to whether they refer to intentional or unintentional injuries. Fourth, showcase examples of intentional and unintentional injuries through role-playing. And the last, show enthusiasm in doing the activity.
Okay, very good. So before we will go further to our discussion this afternoon, before we will discuss what is injury, I want first to ask your idea, your own definition of injury. Miss Julie?
Injury, sir, I think for me it's something that could harm you. Maybe,
Yes.
based on the intentionally or unintentionally, something that you have been hurt through wounds maybe or fractures or different things that could hurt you physically.
Okay, very good. A round of applause for Miss Jolie. Okay, to certainly know what is really the definition of injury, I have here a definition. Can you read it, Miss Lovely?
What is injury? It is also known as physical trauma, is damage to the radicals by external force. This may be caused by accidents, falls, hits, weapons, and other causes. Major trauma is injury that has the potential to cause disability or death.
Okay, very good. Injury is what? Physical trauma. So you may get injury because of what instances, aside from the definition given?
For example, when you are poisoning.
Okay, if you are intentionally poisoning that person because you have that intention to kill that person, no? Or what other situation or instances that we may get injury? Yes, Miss Ansita?
Hit and runs.
Yes, very good. Hit and run. That is considered as what? Intentional or unintentional?
Unintentional.
Unintentional, because there is no plan in what? Killing you. It was just an accident and never planned by that person committed that hit and run. So, let's proceed to the classification of injury. Let's proceed to the first one. Miss Roseanne, let's read.
Intentional injuries are when a person brings harm to themselves or others on purpose. Self-harm is when a person intentionally brings harm to themselves. An example would be suicide. Some risk factors that have been linked to suicide and self-harm include mental illness like depression and alcohol, or illegal drug use disorder.
Okay, given by that example that suicide is associated as intentional injury, what do you think are the reasons why a person is committing suicide?
Because of the problem is too heavy that you can carry it. So
Okay, very good. So what about Miss Shubi? What do you think is the reason why that person is about to commit suicide? Relate to your own situation.
Mentally incapacity.
Yes, because he cannot handle his what? Mental capability, no? He has no one to share with his problem. What about the others? Miss Pamela, do you have any other reason?
Yeah, depression. That's why some, others commit suicide because of depression.
Okay, very good. So the main reason behind those committing suicide are what? Depression, no? Depressions gayon, mostly kasagaran ang reason why the person is committing suicide. So for us to be able to prevent suicide, what are the measures that we are going to do? Yes, Miss Burrell?
Okay, if you are like a suicidal person, sir, I think it's very important to seek professional help because there are experts who are trained to like handle cases like suicide, so you can contact a psychologist and whatnot.
Okay, very good. A round of applause for Miss Burrell. Very good. So let's proceed to the second classification of injury. Please read it, Miss Julie, and answer my
Unintentional
question.
injuries can be defined as any injury that is not caused on purpose or without intention to harm. It is a broad category that includes injuries from causes such as motor vehicle collisions, falls, poisoning, drowning, suffocations, and work-related or sports-related injuries.
Do you believe that poisoning is part of unintentional?
It depends, sir, on the purpose of the person.
Very good. So 5 claps for Miss Jolie. Poisoning can be associated as intentional or unintentional. It only differs to what? The purpose of the person in doing or in having that kind of action. So, any questions so far before we will go on to our activity for this morning?
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
With regard to the answer of Ms. Bell. So, she stated a while ago that in order for us to prevent the depression, when you are a suicidal person, you need to seek help through the professional because they are trained to handle that kind of situation. But how about those people living in the remote areas wherein they cannot afford to go to the city or to go to a professional to seek for a professional help? What can you suggest for those persons who were depressed?
Okay. Okay, since we all know that we are not all gifted financially, right?
Yes,
There are some people who are depressed, especially in the remote areas, because of money, right? So for you to be able to help that person, you are going to talk that person personally. You are going to ask that why he is suffering from that problem, and then you are trying to give your own what solution you are helping that person in wearing his or her shoes. What his or her feelings or the reasons of his hard feelings inside of his self or himself or herself.
Yes, sir.
You are going to wear the shoes of that person. Always be an open dictionary or an open diary to the person suffering from depression.
I think, sir, the more
Please count off.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, this group will be for group 1, group 2, and group 3. Arrange yourselves properly. According to the number that you have. Please observe social distancing as we are following Okay. Can I have your attention, please?
Yes,
Copy for the instruction of your activity. Here is it. The group 1, please read. You will discuss and give definitions of injury. What about the group 2? Let's read.
Group 2 will work on the classification of injuries, differentiate intentional injury from unintentional injury.
Group 3.
Will show an example of injuries, intentional and unintentional proposure.
Okay. So are we all clear with your assigned task?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start. Here is your. So I will no longer give you since you are just about to. Okay, you are only given, please be mindful of the time, because you are only given 5 minutes to do that task. Eyes here for you to be able to be guided. Social distancing. Please observe social distancing again. Miss Law, please observe social distancing. Remove your mask. Please observe social distancing. Do not touch your classmates. You have only 3 minutes to finish your task. Again, social distancing. The time remaining is 3 minutes and 10 seconds. If it so happened that your pelted pen is not in good condition, you're just going to discuss it in front. Just assign one person to discuss. Okay. This activity will test if you are really learning with our discussion this afternoon. You can just discuss it in front. Okay? Group 3 is done. Group 3. Okay, very good. So since there's still time, we should wait for the group 1 to finish their test given. You only have 1 minute and 10 seconds. Seconds left. Please do not be pressured the time. Stay focused so that your answer will be substantial. Okay, you're done. Okay, since everybody's done, so let's proceed to the presentation of this group. Let's start with the group 3. A round of applause for group 3, please. Okay, the group 3 will go in. Sure. Okay, very good. Wow, very good. So group 3 have showcased the very exact example of intentional and unintentional injuries. So the first one that they are showing likely was what? Intentional. Because the person is trying to kill another person. Then the second one is what? Unintentional. It was what? Car accident. Very good. So let's proceed to the group. A round of applause for group number 2, please.
Okay, good morning everyone. So we are the group 2 and we are going to present to you our work.
Our task is to differentiate intentional and unintentional injury. And we have differentiated it this way. Unintentional is the injury that is done on purpose, while the unintentional is the injury that occurs usually during accidents.
Okay, so for example, intentional injury. So number 1, when you commit suicide. Number 2, poisoning. So nagkaon ta dito sa sa isang kakanan and then nagkasakit or na-food poison pa. And then the third one is murder. And then second is unintentional. Just like number 1, car accidents. Second is work-related accidents. And then the third one is sports accidents.
Okay, 5 claps for group number 2. Next 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have showcased or discussed very well the difference between injury, unintentional and intentional injury. So for us to be able to remember it very easy, we should remember the word purpose. If there is a purpose, then the injury is intentional. If without a purpose, it is unintentional. So let's proceed to the last group, the group number 1. A round of applause, please.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon everyone. So, group 1 is tasked to discuss and give the definitions of injury. So we have here 3 definitions of injury. Number 1 is, injury is also known as physical trauma. Why? Because injuries can be seen or is more on physical. Then second is can be intentional or unintentional. So as what the group 2 had discussed a while ago, injury can be intentional when the person has a purpose, and it is unintentional when the person has doesn't have a purpose. Then third definition is the result of somebody's action when you are not careful. So expected that when you are not careful, so expected that there is an injury.
Okay, very good. A round of applause for group number 1. So based on their discussion, injury daw is a physical trauma. Do you agree? Yes, because it is visible from our physical that we are getting what? Injuries. So as a sort of recapitulation of our lesson for this afternoon, what is injury again? It is a physical trauma, yes. Caused by any activities, either purposive or non-purposive. So what are the two classifications of injury?
Intentional and unintentional injury.
How can we prevent from getting injuries?
By being
Yes, by being careful, by being mindful, by being what?
To have a focus.
Okay, focus, concentrate, no? For you to be able to avoid injuries. So, please, since you are all really learning about our lesson, let's do another activity. It's a role play. So, divide your groups into two.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Okay, group 1, group 2. Please still not injury. It's a role play, remember. So, you are going to showcase a situation. No? Are you listening? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, group 2 will be presenting what? An intentional injury situation. No, it is a situation. So, please, eyes here. You will be graded based on this criteria. For your knowledge and concept given, it is worth 60 points. Then teamwork is 30 points. Then time on task is 10 points. So you should be careful about your time. So time management is required. So you are going to start your time right now. You're only given 5 minutes for your presentation. So you may now start discussing what will be your situation. You only have 4 minutes. Three minutes left. Again, as a sort of reminders, please be mindful of the time. You can have your practice while waiting for the time. Two minutes left. Okay, I guess that our group number 2 is still enjoying their activities. They really love our activities because we are happy while doing their practice. Again, since our topic is all about injury, we should be careful enough of our action. I guess group number 2 is already on. Are you all ready to present? You can use any available materials inside of this classroom.
1 minute and 20 seconds left. Seconds left. Seconds left. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. So since group 2 is the first one to finish their task, so they will be the one to present first. So a round of applause for group number 2. We will now start.
Hello, ma'am. Welcome to this restaurant. Good morning. Please read order. You know, ma'am. Can you wait lang for 3 minutes? Yes, ma'am. Can I have a glass of water? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. Excuse me, ma'am. Where's your order? This is yours. It's yummy. What's happening? Help somebody help. Mom, excuse me, Mom, what happened, Mom? Where is your manager? Mom, I am also the manager of this restaurant. Why do you feel this kind of Mom, actually, it's the first time that this thing happened in my place. Other customers, ma'am, are okay, man. So, have you felt that before entering this place? No. This is our first time. Mom, if that's so, I am asking for an apology. Maybe you can go to the doctor to check results. It is not our intention to harm our customers, ma'am, because we want to serve you the best meal in the world. What happened to you now is unintentional. We are really sorry.
What we did now is, can you lend us your any transportation to go?
Yes, ma'am. It will be a pleasure to take you to the hospital to check you physically. Let's go, ma'am. Ako kaya kita na dito.
Okay, a round of applause.
We have shown you the example, an example of an intentional injury on which my customers have experienced, the other one, nagsakit yung tiyan, the other one was vomiting due to siguro, she cannot take what was coming in through. And the other one, whatever she feels, basta kay nasakitan siya sa ilikaon. So my reflection is that whenever that thing happens in a certain place, especially if your place is something that food, you must not Yung baga, wag kang sumabay sa init ng ulo nila sa nangyari sa kanila. We have to be apologetic, whether totoo man yun or hindi, for the sake of our, sa dangal lang to, ng ato. That's the one. We have to take them to the professionals to check them physically whether it is true or not.
Okay, very good, group 2. Again, round of applause. Please keep all your things.
Okay, a pleasant afternoon, everyone. So we are the group 1, and we are going to present to you a scenario showing intentional injury. Sa usa ka tulungaan, adunay usa ka maanyag nga dalaga. Nagingalan og Ivy. So siya mo usa ka popular nga estudyante. Sa iyang pagka-popular, ang iyang mga classmates na nahimo nga masinahon kaniya. So perminti siya ginalibak sa iyang mga classmates. So sa ilang kasuya, sila naglaraw og usa ka daotang butang nga buhaton ni ana nga babae. So mao kini ang ilang giplano nga buhaton.
Hi, Ivy.
Hello.
You're thirsty and happy, right?
Oh, yes.
Because we're very good, so we're going to do this for you.
It's raining.
It's for us, yes. And where's the drink? This one. Oh, this is also another ingredients to make that more delicious.
It sounds so yummy.
You can eat it. It's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a nice day.
Paghuman pagkaon ni Ivy sa maong kalanunol, mao kini ang iyang gibati.
I think I need to go to the CR.
Oh, nothing.
What's happening to her?
Okay. So, pagkahuman sa maong pagtabo, si Ivy gidala sa hospital. Ug ang iyang mga classmates nalipay kayo sa pagkaon.
Serves her right, right?
Okay, so that is an example of what we have.
In front. Let's do it in front.
So as what we have presented, we showed to you the intentional injury. So the classmates were very much envious of their popular, sexy, and beautiful classmates. So what they did is they tried to harm her by poisoning her. So that's what we call intentional injury. When we have a purpose of harming the person.
Okay,
So that's
very good.
intentional.
So for your points, so group 2 has 95 points out of 100. A round of applause, please. And group 1 got 97 out of 100. So our winner for this activity is the group number 1. So please arrange your chairs. Go back to your proper seats. So to really assess your learning about our discussion this afternoon, I'll be showing you a picture and then you are going to classify whether it is unintentional or intentional. Let's start with Miss Rosalie. Is that intentional or intentional?
For me, sir, it is intentional.
Very good. Why?
Because he's planning to kill himself.
Okay, very good. So let's proceed to the second picture. Miss Pamela.
I think the picture shows it's an intentional injury, sir, or accident.
Why?
Because I think the girl broke his brake, a car brake, unintentionally hit the guy
riding a bicycle.
Yes, because this picture is showcasing a collision or car accident, vehicular accident. No, it is unintentional because it is non-purposive. Let's proceed to the third picture. Miss Ivy, please.
I think that is unintentional, sir, because as what I have seen in the picture, I think the girl is choked from. I think she must have eaten something that is in her throat.
Okay, very good. So, the condition that the girl is feeling is shock. Yan yung shock siya sa food na yung intake, no? Let's proceed to the next. Miss Lovely?
I think that's the husband and the wife. They have their fight. I don't know what they are. And that is intentional because the husband punched the face of the wife.
Okay, is trying to punch his wife because of what? Misunderstanding. So let's proceed to the next picture. Miss Anaceta.
That is unintentional.
Yes, very good.
The person is falling in the stair.
Yes, the stairs. Yeah. This is unintentional because the guy or the person or the kid in the picture is being stumbled down in the stairs because it is slippery, danlog, unintentional, wala niya dito yun na ma-slide siya. So let's proceed to the last picture. Miss Shuvi. Please analyze the picture.
I think that is stomachache. Okay, so that is unintentional.
Why?
The person may be
Okay, because the person may be eaten something poisonous, no? And it is unintentional. Na that person is lang lamang likely he have eaten a lot of foods and then that food causes him a very severe stomach ache, and that is unintentional. So since you all understood our lesson this afternoon, a round of applause for everybody. So for your assignment or homework, please read Miss Jody.
Awareness campaign. List down unintentional injuries that happens inside your house and post it on social media like Facebook, Twitter, and IG with the hashtag unintentional injuries to let the people know what are the possible injuries may happen at home.
Okay, so are we all clear?
Yes, sir.
So as we are about to end our discussion this afternoon, I want you to have this kind of ability. You are going to list down unintentional injuries that happens inside your house and post it in social media for awareness campaign, no? So that everyone can be preventing enough in engaging or happening that kind of situation, no? Mga unintentional injuries. So, no more questions, no more queries so far?
Answer.
So, if that's so, let's call it a day. Goodbye and thank you.
Bye, sir.
Goodbye. Stay safe.
Thank you, sir.
Ride home safe.